Hello ducklings, hello chicks, it's story time and it's Wednesday. So let's have a look and see what we're going to be reading this evening. Well, it's this evening here. It's probably the middle of the day in your house, but we're going to have this book as our information book to look at today. And it's a book that's all about emergency vehicles, just like the other ones, and it's called Rescue Boat. And inside this book, there's lots of information about the different kind of crafts that go on the water to help save us in the sea. So I thought we'd have a good look at that before we have our other book, which is a story. Well, it's not really a story, is it? Because the others have been poems. But one of these books, again, which is a Tony Mitton book, and this one is called Awesome Ambulances. So both our books this evening are all about saving people and looking after people. So I hope you're comfy, and then we'll start. Here's our first book, all about rescue boats. Let's have a look at the contents. We could choose whichever page we want because it doesn't really matter which order you read an information book in. Let's go for emergency. When an emergency call comes, it's important for a rescue boat to act as fast as possible. The crew rushes to its boat and puts on special clothes. Then it's time to launch. Some boats are kept on the water, ready for action. Others are kept on the shore. Let's have a look at page 14 now, Little Lifesavers. Coast Guards used all sorts of small craft for rescuing people close to the shore. Jet boats and jet skis are good in shallow water. They don't have propellers that could hit the seabed. Lifeguards are in charge of safety on the beach. They have jet boats and jet skis to rescue injured surfers from the waves. Now we can have a look at another page, which is page 20, and on that page it's all about bigger boats called tugs. A tug is a large boat that is used to tow ships. It is a strong boat with powerful engines. Tugs often rescue ships that have broken down and tow them to safety. Tugs also help to fight fires on ships. They have hoses and powerful water pumps to spray water onto the flames. And at the back of this book, there's an activity page too. This activity says which picture shows a hovercraft, an offshore lifeboat and a jet ski. I wonder where we might find the information to answer those questions. And finally, at the very back is our glossary full of all those important words that we have learnt. Children, that book was really interesting, wasn't it? And we only had a couple of pages from it. But I wondered if you noticed when I was reading, some of the pages had little bits of information by some of the pictures. And these are extra bits of information. So this bit says a hovercraft rescues people stuck in shallow waters or mud. And look, see, that's on the same page as the Little Lifesavers. And it also has another bit of information here, which talks about jet skis and how they're powered. Now, these little tiny bits of information have got a special word, and they're usually called captions, and they go with the pictures. And now it's time for our second look at a book, and here we are. Here's the Awesome Ambulances by Tony Mitton that I said I would read to you today. Now, I bet you it's going to have some more tongue-twistery bits like the last two have. So let's hope I don't make too many mistakes. I hope you're sitting comfy, and then I'll begin. If you've had an accident or if you're very sick, an ambulance assists you. Its response is very quick. When the station takes a call to say that you're in need, an ambulance will get to you by driving at great speed. To clear the road ahead of it, its sirens fill the air. It tells the other drivers someone's hurt or needing care. For extra visibility, especially at night, an ambulance's beacons will flash their vivid lights. To operate an ambulance, there has to be a crew. They're highly trained. These paramedics know just what to do. They carry the equipment for every situation. They check to see it's all on board while waiting at the station. They store all kinds of bandages in case you start to bleed. To deal with pain and problems, they've medicine you might need. There's oxygen to help you breathe if you're really sick, and if you have a broken bone, these splints should do the trick. For people who are very weak and cannot move or stand, the paramedics use a bed on wheels to lend a hand. This bed is called a stretcher. It gives a gentle ride, and after that it folds up and packed away inside. When the patient's safely in the ambulance at last, it's time to get them treated at hospital and fast. The driver travels speedily but keeps the vehicle steady. The hospital is radioed to have them at the ready. On the way, the paramedics use their skill and care to keep the patient comfortable until arriving there. Once they're at the hospital, the staff are there to meet them. They quickly take the patient off to doctors who will treat them. Back at base, the paramedics clean and check the stock. Hooray for awesome ambulances, ready round the clock. Children, that was the last information book that we're going to have this week. I hope you enjoyed learning all those different facts. I wonder if you've got a particular information book at home that you enjoy. I know in my classroom we've got one that's about slugs and snails and creepy crawlies that seems to be a really popular one. So perhaps you've got one a bit like that at home. Anyway, I hope you have a lovely evening with your family. Stay safe, and I look forward to reading you another story again tomorrow. Until then, bye ducklings, bye chicks.